Unfortunately, Luton's first Premier League game of the season has ended in a defeat. Brighton beat Luton 4-1 at home, and in today's video I'm going to give you guys my overall thoughts on that performance. Of course I am devastated. We have lost the game, but let's be honest, it's Brighton who are going to be up there at the end of the season. But in this video I'm going to dig deep, let you know my thoughts from what I've just seen, and yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section of the video. So before the game, we talk about the team lineup. It was exactly how I predicted it. It was spot on, to be fair. Kapore right wing back, you know, Giles getting ahead of Doherty, Pelly, Chong and Nakamba in the midfield, and then Elijah and Morris up top. It was exactly how I predicted it, just by going by how players have performed during pre-season and what the go-to type of system has been in pre-season. That's why I thought he would pick that starting 11. Some players did well, some players didn't do well, and obviously we will be talking about that. But if we talk about that first half, now it was a very slow start. The fact that we managed to go first 20 minutes without conceding a goal was quite good from us, especially after the miss which Pedro did in the first 5 minutes. Realistically, that should have been a goal. Brighton should have been 1-0 up after 5. Like, it's a shocking miss. I don't know how he missed that. But apart from that opportunity, we kind of limited Brighton to opportunities to outside the box, long distance chances. You know, Kaminsky didn't really make too many saves, and he actually had a really good game in my eyes. I thought he made some really good saves throughout the whole 90 minutes, but in the first half he didn't really have much to do because of Brighton, you know, limiting them to long distance chances. So I thought we did well in that aspect, but then we got a little bit sloppy. A cross came in from the left hand side. I did mention in my match preview, Brighton are just going to be dominating that left hand side. They put a ball in. Unfortunately, Amari Bell, he lost his man, and it's an easy header for Solly March to score. Realistically, we should be defending a lot better there. But then we go into half time 1-0 down. That's not too bad. I don't think going 1-0 down at half time, of course you don't want to be 1-0 down, but to still be in the game at half time is the most important thing. I did also thought in the first half we did manage to get forward quite well, especially on their counter-attacks, but there was just that lack of final product. Morris had a really good header in the first half from the corner, and I felt if that was either side of the goalkeeper that would have gone in, but unfortunately it was straight down the middle. And then he also had one just before half time as well from a set piece. Exactly how I thought we were going to cause Brighton problems, set pieces and counter-attacks, and it did exactly that, to be fair. That's how we caused them problems. And then the second half kicked off. It was important for us to, you know, build on the momentum and, you know, try and push forward. But unfortunately, we did concede a second goal for a penalty. Tom Lockyer fouling Pedro. It was a very soft penalty, don't get me wrong. It was 100% soft. But the problem which I have is it's very clumsy defending from Lockyer, from someone who we don't really expect to do that. It was physical. And don't get me wrong, like, Pedro went down far too easily. We know that's what Pedro does. He did that throughout the whole of the championship last year. Did it against us on the 2 occasions last year as well. And he did exactly that in today's game. He went down far too easily. But the problem was Lockyer made it look more of a penalty than it was by going down with the force. He put his arm across, which I think you can do as a defender, but the problem is he went down as well, and I just felt like the officials are looking at that thinking he's using excessive force, and that's why they gave the penalty. I understand why they didn't overturn it, but it's an extremely soft one, and when you give penalties like that, you have to give other penalties, which we will talk about later on in the video. But yeah, they got given the penalty. Kaminsky was really close to saving it, but unfortunately wasn't able to save it, which was quite frustrating because that second goal came completely at the wrong time. We were actually building a lot of momentum. We were, you know, getting into Brighton's half a lot more, but then when you concede a goal like that, it's like a massive sucker punch, and then you need to try and regain that momentum back again, which we then did by getting the penalty, which I thought was extremely harsh. You know, I don't think there's much that Duncan have actually done to stop that penalty from happening. And what really worries me going forward in the Premier League season, there's going to be plenty of times where Luton defenders will do exactly what Dunk has done. You know, slide in with your, like, his arm wasn't out or anything, and it literally hits his back, it hits his arm. and then the referee gives a penalty. I just find it extremely harsh. I do worry, because for me, from a footballing aspect, it doesn't make any sense. Now look, you're probably thinking, Lewis, why are you moaning for? We got given the penalty. I'm moaning because that's going to happen to us at one point during the season, on more than one occasion. It will happen most weeks in football, and why I have an issue with it is because I just don't think officials have football understanding. What is Dunk meant to do there? What is he meant to do? If you've ever played as a defender playing football and you have to try and stop a cross sliding in, honestly, most of the time it does hit your arm because it's in a natural body position. I used to play fullback all the time, and I used to do that plenty of times, and yet nothing gets awarded because it's completely normal. But nowadays, in today's modern day football, it gets awarded. I don't get it. But anyway, Luton got given a penalty. Morris, call as you like, scores his first Premier League goal in his career, and also we score our first Premier League goal as a club. I said it was very important for us to at least score in this game against Brighton, and we did exactly that. So then we score the goal, we gain momentum, and then we go and concede again, and it was such a sloppy goal. Pelly, it doesn't matter what level of football you're playing at, it doesn't matter if you're Premier League, Championship, League 2, League 1, non-league, it doesn't matter, you can't be doing what you just did. And it was a silly mistake, you know, really was a silly mistake. And then Brighton literally just took advantage. That's what happens. You make a mistake like that, teams take advantage. Obviously, as you go up their levels, it's more damaging. And that's exactly what happened there. And yeah, the Brighton player literally had had an easy goal for him. Then obviously towards the end, the fourth goal happened, and so on. Really poor defending, ball over down on the left-hand side, and then it was put in across the box. Easy tap in for Ferguson, the lad who came on, the Irish lad who's going to have a bright future ahead of him, I'm sure. But yeah, and then it was 4-1 to Brighton. You know, in certain aspects of the game, I thought we did really well. I thought the momentum as well, especially when we scored our goal, the momentum was there, but then because we conceded, it just went again. Honestly, if it was another 5 or 10 more minutes, we would have caused even more problems. I thought Brown was really good when he came on. I was really disappointed with Elijah's performance. But I thought when Brown came on, he had an impact. He caused Brighton a few problems with his pace and his presence. So I really liked him. I did like what Chong did in the first half, but then I did felt he got a little bit sloppy as the game went on. I did like Kapore with his defensive contributions. However, when he got into those attacking, areas, I felt he needed to be a little bit more smarter. There was times when he would just put the ball in when Morris was just the only one in the box, where I felt he should have been a little bit smarter and try and win a corner or do something else. It was pretty obvious what he was trying to do, but his pace is really good, and he caused, he kept Mitoma, he actually frustrated Mitoma, to be fair. And you know that we all knew Brighton were going to attack down that left hand side, because that's their strongest, that's their strongest part of their game, is attacking down that left hand side. And I thought Kapore did well for a lot of that, and then he got booked, and then you're in a situation where you kind of have to take him off because he's on a booking and so on. But yeah, I thought in spells we did well. Defended in wells in certain spells as well. We just made some silly errors, individual errors, which cost us, and those type of errors we can't, replicate every single week. Otherwise you're just going to get punished every single week. Maybe it was first game of the season nerves, I understand it. Brighton are a good team. We have to just put our hands up. Brighton are a very good team, but even though Brighton are a really good team, we still cause them problems, especially from set pieces. Morris had a few chances. We are getting chances. That was the one thing which I was worried about. If we was to go throughout the whole game without getting a chance, we had chances. We caused them problems. Their keeper, we made him busy a little bit. Obviously not as much as we would have liked to. We would have obviously wanted him to be a lot more busier. But it is what it is. We were away from home. Brighton were dominating possession, and yeah, the goals we conceded came at the wrong moments, especially when we were trying to build up that momentum. On another day, we would have built up that momentum even more, caused more problems, scored more goals, and so on. I did like the energy which Ogbeni came on and had. So yeah, overall, I really was happy with certain moments in the game. Of course, I'm disappointed we've lost. I didn't want to lose the first game, but you know, when you look back on it, Brighton are just simply a really good team, and they are on such a different level to what we are. We're here, Brighton are there. You know, whether or not Chelsea are going to be there is a different story compared to how early we are playing in their Premier League season. But I'm hoping Chelsea are around here and we can give Chelsea a little bit more of a game. But it's a killer because we've got to wait another 2 more weeks before we actually play Chelsea. So, look, overall, it was an okay performance. Definitely areas which we can improve on. Definitely learnt a few things from this game as well. So yeah, we can only take the positives and try and use them going forward throughout the Premier League season. My man of the match, I would have to give it to Kapore. I thought for what he did for the hour he was on, I thought was quite good. Kept Matoma quiet, which isn't an easy thing to do in his first game as a Luton Town player. So yeah, I will give him my man of the match. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below, guys. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video.